Ooh, this is gonna be a strange one. If you watched the end of the last video, you might remember that I said I was going to combine an arcade stick, a fighting game controller, with one of these. And that is gonna be the project for today. Now, the plan has changed quite dramatically, if I'm honest, because this is not built the way that I thought it was, but I still wanna go over it because it is a pretty cool piece of kit here. This is a Logitech gear shifter, really. It's just kind of the whole name of it, not a whole lot else to it. And my original plan was to take this part here, the boot and the gear stick itself, off of this device and put it into that fighting game controller. But that proved a lot harder to do than I thought it would. So I've come up with a different plan, because this entire ring is actually one unit. This plastic, this boot, and this gear stick all actually come together, and that's a little bit different than what I wanted to do. So I had to go looking, I had to get some parts, but I did find some stuff that I think is gonna work for us. And I'll have to find a use for this now somewhere in my hoard of electronics, but c'est la vie. Now let's look at the fighting game controller that we're gonna be using, which is this guy. This is a Mayflash F500 Universal Arcade Fight Stick. It's a pretty basic one, to be honest. There's not a whole lot fancy about it. The coolest thing that I found about it is it'll work on any console: Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. All of them work. The buttons are nice and springy. They play well. The stick and the buttons, I believe, are Senwa. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's got a metal base. It's nice to carry around. It's weighty. It feels comfortable to play on, and it's a lot of fun. It's even got turbo functions and stuff like that, depending on what game you're playing. And like the Kingdom Hearts one and the first fight stick that I modded, which was really the first video of this style I did on my channel, I want to completely change out the buttons, change out the artwork, and this is going to get turned into something that looks like a gear stick. I remember actually explaining this idea to one of my friends, and he said, "Are you gonna make it to where you can like shift gears and stuff in racing games, even though it's a fight stick?" No, I just wanted it to look like that. But you might be wondering how you're gonna put a shifter on this fight stick, and it's gonna take some finagling and some harder work than it did for the other fight stick, but you know what? I'll show you my parts and we'll take a look at it here. Now, to get the look that I'm going for, what I want to do in essence is take this fight stick, extend it out a bit to where it's a little bit taller and further away from the base of the actual arcade stick. I want to make it look like a shifter out of a car, and that's about it in terms of the proper modding for it. And I did a little bit of testing with some gear sticks that I could get off of Amazon, and they revealed some interesting things. This guy is the remnants of my first attempt. My original idea was to take a piece of gear stick boot like this that I bought off of Amazon for like 15 bucks, take a washer. This in particular is a reducing washer from Lowe's. It costs like $2. And my original plan was to use the washer to create a cone inside of the gear stick and mount it on the top of the case like so. But that kind of proved annoying because it made it sit proud of the actual fight stick. It didn't look that great, and I was worried about the restriction on the washer and the boot making the stick not be able to move as much. So I ended up kind of scrapping that idea and ended up going with something a little bit different. Instead of using that red gear stick boot, I bought this black one off of Amazon. It was literally the exact same thing, except instead of red stitching, it has black stitching. Same carbon fiber look, basically the exact same product, same plastic ring up top. And what I ended up doing was taking some measurements and cutting out this. This is about the size of the hole that I want it to be on the fight stick. With that original plan kind of in the garbage, I had to think about how else I could make it look like a gear stick. And my next idea was to use the hole that's already been made in this and just make it a little bit bigger. This guy comes off. This is your ball topper for your arcade stick. This guy, this is a dust washer, comes off, and there is this hole that the stick actually comes through. That's what moves around, obviously, and it's wide enough to where the stick has plenty of movement and plenty of room to move around. My new idea is to feed the gear stick boot through this hole, but if I feed it through something like this, it's gonna look like a sock, really. It's not gonna look like a boot. It's not gonna have the curve or the folds that make a gear shift look proper. So the first thing I need to do is completely disassemble this to get the plastic part off of it. So I guess I'm gonna have to do that now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna do this as a time lapse, since you guys have already seen this if you've watched the other fight stick video that I made. And if you haven't seen that, then you should go watch it. Okay, that's got all of the buttons out. now that all of those are off, this plastic layer up here should, aha, yes, just lift off like so. See, there's the paper that marks everything. Let me move this whole ordeal out of the way. And we have plastic layer of the fight stick. Now, this is where things are gonna get interesting because like I said before, I want to widen this hole to be able to accommodate the gear stick in a better way. Because this is basically like the same size as the washer for the gear stick. So if I try to push it through there, it's not really gonna work. If I try to get that through there, it's not really gonna work right. So what I need to do is figure out how I'm going to widen this hole and get this cut down to size to fit in between this layer and the metal that we saw of the fight stick. I didn't mention it before, but I'm also going to be making this stick come out a little bit taller, so I bought these. These are actually extenders specifically designed for arcade sticks that you can use. You attach them on like so, and now that is the height of your arcade stick. Let's see what it looks like with the other boot, actually. Let's see. Okay. So the main idea is to have something like this going on, and then putting the ball topper on top. And I know this doesn't look great, but it's just kind of a proof of concept here. We do this, we have the plastic on top, and then we're able to play the game like such. So now I'm going to go away for a minute and think and make sure that I can actually get this done. What about the squeeze clamps?
That's what I was just thinking about. I don't know if that'll work either.
Or are we just freeballing it?
Yeah, maybe so.
Ooh, I hate that. Oh, I don't like it. That's wood. There he is. That's drilled. This hole is much bigger. He used a hole saw and a drill press, brought it through with some wood underneath, and that is our final product. And if we lay it on here, okay, we're a little bit off center. We're veering a little bit in that direction, but hey, not too shabby for our first time trying to use one, you know? The plan now is to feed the boot through the new hole that we've made, like so. Attach him over the top of it in between these two layers. And that's kind of hard to represent here because this boot is really thick and really long. Taking a look at the red boot that I had cut earlier before I got to the point of using a hole saw for it. Take this guy, put him down here, and how well do the magnets attach? Ooh, they attach quite well. Oh, and then we got... Look at how dumb that looks. It looks great. I love it. Oh, that's exactly the kind of thing that I was going for, is something that looks just like this. Oh. Okay, cool. All right, so that is the plan for what we're going to be doing. The only thing about it is that I need to make the black one shorter than the red one here. Okay, so little size comparisons here. I had to trim down quite a lot of material for this guy originally. Quite a bit. Yeah. So all of that I'm getting rid of. So oh, and my workstation is not. That is not as box cutter resistant as I thought it was. So okay, never mind. Ooh, it looks like a bit of an uneven cut I had here. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think scissors might be a better play for this guy. Let's see here. Difficult for the magnets to attach up here. That's not surprising though, but I mean the vision is there. I mean, can you see the vision? But I mean the idea is still there, you know. I mean, can you see the vision? Ah! Oh yes, I do believe that's him. Look at him. Oh, he looks so weird, so stupid, so dumb. I love it. It looks so fantastic. That was really the whole point of this video and of this mod, was like, I want to make something that whenever people look at it, they laugh. Because like, there's no way that somebody actually put that on there. But I don't believe that this boot is going to be able to get any smaller without having issues. So What we're gonna have to do is glue it down now. Real quick though, I did want to show a surprise that I have for this project, because you didn't think that I'd be using the original knob for it. I mean, come on. What I did was I went on, I believe it was focusattack.com. They had a gear stick that looked just like this, just like a H pattern shifter, which is what this is going for anyway. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, it looks so stupid. I love it. The next step of the process is going to be gluing down the boot, because the last thing that we want to do is have all of this assembled, and while I'm playing and while I'm doing, it ends up getting stretched too much and the entire boot ends up coming off. Okay, so what I'm going to do for the gluing process is I'm probably going to use this. This is E6000. I'm probably going to, it's an industrial strength adhesive, and I'm going to see if I can get it to work with that. Okay, and then we'll add some pressure to squeeze that sucker down there and hopefully get it locked in. Alrighty, it's been a couple of hours because my phone camera died, but I also let this adhesive set up and it seems to be holding pretty dang well. I'm really liking how it's looking so far, and like I showed before I left, I've got this guy, which is going to be going on top of here to complete the gear stick look. But we're not done with the design yet. Part of why I had to take out the buttons, of course, was for the artwork. And like every great fight stick, there has to be great artwork. I was racking my brain for a while to figure out what I could do to make the artwork great and to make this fight stick truly unique. And the main thing that came to me was stickers. This is a bag of 50 different stickers that I bought off of Etsy, and I'm gonna sticker bomb this thing because I think that would look pretty dang cool. Handicraft MAK is the shop that I bought most of the stickers from. They're a variety of different car logos and brands. Most of it has to do with motocross, which is kind of interesting. But I also got this guy here, which is a United States street racing permit. Very important to have for something like this, which really is just kind of nerd stuff, but hey, this entire project is nerd stuff. And I got this street racing permit from Garage Gift Shop, who I believe also sent these special little, well, this one is a Pokemon themed sticker. It's got Pikachu on an S2000, and this one is just really a really cute Garage Gift Shop little cat thing in a tire, so I'll probably put that somewhere, but we'll see what happens. Now, what I'm probably gonna do for this is I'm going to do another time lapse of me actually putting the stickers on, but the last one I'm gonna save is the street racing permit. That's coming last, and you'll definitely see me apply that. So back to another time lapse. Alrighty, I think he's done, and he looks incredible. I love the way that this looks. It looks so good. And I didn't even really try to like stylize it in any way. I just kind of put stuff around, and there's some recognizable brands. Like I made sure to keep Roof on top, K&N, Rally Art, Dunlop, so many fantastic brands, and just like history of motorsports. But the main one that I was saving, actually, that I was going to put on last was going to be this guy here, Tom's. Now, if you are a fan of any kind of Japanese car or any kind of Japanese motor racing, you've probably heard of Tom's. Tom's is the reason why Toyota's racing department, and especially the Mark IV Supra, which is a hero car and just a legendary vehicle for so many people. The reason why it's so popular, why it started winning especially, and why it got so much fame, aside from Fast and Furious, is Tom's, these guys right here. You want to know some cool racing history? Look them up. Right, yeah. The keen-eyed among you probably are wondering, well, what about the buttons? How are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to have to get a knife, and we're going to have to cut the individual buttons and the holes out so we can actually fit them through. So let me go ahead and get a knife to do that. The last sticker remaining is this US Street Racing sticker, which I believe I'm going to put right here in between Dunlop and Pirelli. I was going to put it up here, but it's kind of going to take over Roof a little bit. But actually, that's not bad, actually. I think I am going to put it there. Never mind. I lie. Never mind. The world is my oyster. I can do whatever I want with it. there we go. And kind of fitting that I'm actually going to have to cut into it based on its placement, but I still think it looks good. So let's take the old knife and let's see if we can't carve out these holes here for the buttons. Let's see what we can do. Now, I'm not too worried about getting like all of the sticker out because the buttons that I chose are actually clear along the rim, so they'll be able to get some of it out on their own, which is, they'll be able to have some of it like kind of shine through the button, through the outside of the button, which I'm hoping for because I think that's going to look really neat. So I'm not too concerned about little strips and stuff because they're going to get pushed further into the stick and it's not really going to be seen. So I'm not hugely worried about that. I also need to be kind of careful in regards to the wiring that is in the case still because I didn't remove it to work on it. So I need to be mindful of where my blade is going to not cut any wires or anything like that because that would be bad. Oh, it fits. It fits and it fits well. Oh my goodness. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, I'm so happy about it. I wonder, actually, let me get my knife back out. I want to try something here. Can I? No. Okay, yeah, that's going to rip up the boot. That's fine. Okay, so he is on. Our next objective now is to put the buttons back in. For the buttons, I went with more Sanwa buttons, and they are going to be the same size as the OGs, really. Not a whole lot to talk about. They're going to be the same size as the originals. There's going to be one that's smaller, which I have to find, because he's going to go up here. I believe that's this guy. Yeah, he's going up there, and then I just have to wire him up. So, you guessed it. I guarantee you know where we're going with this. It's another time lapse. Alrighty, there we have it. This is the Gear Stick Arcade Stick. It's got all the buttons, they feel great. I went with the clear ones, so that way you could see some of the artwork shining through in between them. It was a little bit difficult to get the hole cut out and make sure that the gear stick and everything was working, but it looks fantastic. It came out exactly how I thought it would, and I'm so absolutely proud of this. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to see me do more stuff like this, please recommend something. I'm always down to mod something and do a fun idea, do something in a cool way. And yeah, fight sticker number 2 down, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.